Eric, are we at a point with the way the games have gone where something fundamentally has to change in the approach or the strategy or the lineup or the rotation?
Um, no, I do believe that there just has to be a mindset shift to be able to sustain a game that can win night in, night out. And we've shown that we can be, the very best against anybody, anywhere. And then we also have shown this, and it might not just be this; it might be a poorly played game, not to our identity, where we've had some tough losses. We haven't had many of these kind of losses, but it's a sustainability, um, that we have not been able to wrap our hands around this season, and that's where we're going to continue to work at it until we do. All the answers that we want um, are in that locker room.
Eric, Jimmy left early in the fourth. Did he aggravate something, or was that just for treatment?
Yeah, just a little bit of knee soreness. We're down 25. At that point, he was just going to try to loosen up, get a little bit of treatment. If we would have gotten it to under 10, I'm sure he'd have been right back.
There weren't too many shots at the rim. The 3-point numbers were down. What did you notice? Maybe that was different about the offensive process.
Yeah, we took some tough contested shots, and you do have to credit their defense. A totally different complexion to this game than who we faced in Philly. It's just much quicker, much faster, more spacing. In the first half, they had 26 in transition, 20 fast break points. That alone was just night and day difference. From the team we played against in Philly. But, we scored 38 in the first quarter. I thought, we did some really good things. And in the second quarter, they totally flattened us out. I think with a couple minutes to go, I think at that point we'd only scored 8 points in the quarter. The switching flattened us out. We took some tough contested shots. Even with Embiid out, we actually got less paint opportunities, less shots at the rim, and less threes, and that really speaks to a lack of detail, with the execution against a smaller team that's going to try to switch and flatten you out. It takes real focus, which we're fully capable of doing that. We just weren't able to execute the way we wanted to, and certainly not be able to sustain it. Anytime we had any kind of run, it usually led to a tough contested shot that led to a breakout going the other way.
Even if the offense overall wasn't very efficient, Bam and Jimmy were still finding the switches and the matchups they wanted. And I was wondering if, big picture-wise, do you feel like with the way those two are kind of the focal point against the switching defense, do you feel like you've made gains against switches?
Yeah, we've worked on it a lot, this year. Just because you face it so often, and both those guys are switch killers, with their ability to screen and create pockets either over the top or in a pocket, versus a smaller player. They can also play out of the post, and we can still get to some cuts and a lot of the things that we like that we didn't get to tonight. But both of them, that was probably just the few bright points of our offense was, some kind of decision between the two of them.
Tyler's been off of the shot since he came back from the All-Star break. Is it a matter of he's not taking the right shots? Is it a matter of the offense not getting him the right shots? Is it a matter of him just missing?
I'm not prepared to answer that right now. I have to get to the film because each game has been different. This is different than it's too small of a sample size. Overall, just the consistency and sustainability of our offense, that's what we have to get to, of getting to our strengths, being intentional, doing it over and over and over and over, regardless of the team, the scheme, the context, who's in, who's out. We're capable of doing all of that at such a high level. We just need to have that consistency.
I know that doesn't really matter according to what you just said, but last week it was Giannis Antetokounmpo. This week it's no Joel Embiid. How much does that change your approach and in terms of what you can do with an opposing star player out of the lineup?
It shouldn't. It has. There's been whatever kind of impact this year that's very unlike us, and I wouldn't necessarily say there's an exhale, but we have not seized those opportunities, the way we should have, so far.
To fundamentally change? Or is it just a matter of saying you've got to do it better? Or do you see where there has to be sort of a significant change into the way things are going?
Man, I honestly feel like we have too many mental laps in the middle of the game. Guys leaving guys open. It was really on the other end tonight. We didn't get any stops, and that's what hurt us the whole game. We was getting what we wanted on offense. We just couldn't get any stops.
Big picture, Bam, how do you explain kind of the inconsistencies throughout the whole season, just from game to game?
You can't really explain it. It's an up and down season. As you can see, it's been up and down this whole season, so can't really explain that. It's more so we just have to find that right niche for us, and we haven't found it yet.
Bam, even though Philly was switching more than they usually are going to without Embiid, Spo was talking about that you guys have spent a lot of time this season trying to get better at attacking, switching defenses. Do you think you guys have made the gains there overall that you want to?
No. We still have a long ways to go, as you can see, when it comes to teams who switch. And, we just have to buy in. We have to buy into that and really figure it out. It's the second half of the season. We need to start gearing up for something bigger ahead of us.
I think it's the fourth time in the last 5 games that the team has shot 30% or under from three-point range. Is there anything that you're seeing while you're out on the floor in terms of why those shots aren't necessarily falling? Is it something defensively that the other opponents are doing, or is it something internally within the Heat organization?
Nah, it's missed shots. You can't, it's not, we're human, and it's our job to come in here and make sure we make shots, and we didn't make shots today.
Bam, how much of a challenge has it been with the up and downs, but also kind of mixing Kevin Love and Cody into the whole mix of you guys while you're trying to right the ship?
They've been, for what we need, they've been great assets. They come in with the right mindset. They come in willing to work, and they're trying to figure out how ways they can be better for us.
You know what the schedule is. The Knicks won again tonight. You're chasing them. They come in Friday. Atlanta's right behind you. They come in for 2 this weekend. Can those moments, like Spo said earlier, you guys have shown you can beat anybody anywhere already, but knowing what's at stake, particularly in the next 5 games in this homestand, can that help flip whatever switch has to be flipped?
Yeah. I feel like this homestand, we run off these games. I feel like it's a different look. It's a different energy. The media start liking us again. So it's a big what, 5 games? 5 games for us. So, let that game go that we just had and, focus on the next 5 and take them game by game.
Bam, you mentioned earlier the defensive lapses that you guys have had, whether tonight or in other games. Just wanted to figure out, as far as the new defensive game plan with Kevin Love on the floor, with showing and recovering and incorporating that into the defensive game plan. I know you guys have thrown out all types of coverages throughout the season, but how do you think it's fared so far? And just the nuances of trying to get there and recover back before the wide open 3 comes. Has that been a little bit of a transition for you guys to figure out so far? How do you feel as far as the way that that's played out so far?
It's been different because we've never had like a big really show, so it's gonna take some time. But for us, You know, just everybody else has to be on a string. I feel like that's where we get lost. You know, one game we'll have the low man, the next game we don't have to go the low man. You know, one game we'll have shrinks, then the next game we don't have shrinks. You know, we just need to get consistent with being first time every time.